Hi, this is Marjorie Wildcraft, and today I'm again at the Permaculture Institute that is located just a little bit north of Santa Fe, and I'm here with Arina Pitman, Scott Pittman's wife. They run the Permaculture Institute. And I was here a few years ago. You might recall we had a video about how they converted a swimming pool into a milking parlor and a greenhouse. When I was here that time, Arina had told me an amazing story. There are two primary modes of production for food here for themselves, and they're mostly trying to live sustainably, were animals and a food forest they have. Would you want to tell us a little bit about the animals that you had, that you're growing, that you primarily depend on?
Goats and chickens is our main animals. We've played a little bit around with sheep, because we like to have our meat, eggs, and milk. And those animals is what gives us milk, eggs, and milk, and meat.
And then you also have a food forest, which, how many, I think this is 20-something years old, full of fruit and nut trees. Do you want to explain a little bit about what the food forest is?
Yeah, it's quite old. It's in full production. Food forest is sort of this diverse grouping of plants and animals, actually, in fact. It's a whole ecosystem of its own, with an eye for complete production of food, forage, biomass, habitat for pollinators, and all of the different functions to create fuel, exactly, to create a very complex and complete system for sustainable living. So it meets most of our needs.
So those were the two primary sources that they had developed that worked symbiotically. And what had happened was the winter before, it had gotten down to minus 30 degrees, which is an extraordinary low here in this area. And then Arina was saying just last winter, it also got down really low. And what the consequence of that was because their trees are old and fairly well established, they didn't lose the trees. But they didn't get any production either. Is that right?
That's right. We're standing under an apple tree that we could see beautiful foliage and not anything else really on that tree. So we're looking at a very lean year in that sense. And of course our annual garden becomes the place where all of it happens, is the annual production, because the perennial production fails in those extremes.
Well, that was the big lesson that I remembered taking away, and I wanted to share with you, was just the importance of having a diversity of food sources. And I remember you going, oh, the annual garden, they hadn't focused on it as much, but now it's taking a much bigger priority just because of the reliability of it and comparison, which we never used to think that food forests, if you had a big diverse food forest, you'd think there would always be production, but I guess we found that that's not always true.
You know, that's not true, and we're learning that, of course, our ancestors in many different ecosystems around the world, but they also learned that lesson, and usually people would keep multiple gardens, especially in New Mexico in a mountain climate. We have frost, we have hail, we have diverse microclimates and ecosystems all the way throughout, even on a small piece of land like this one. So we're now learning that it pays to really diversify, not only in a sense of varieties of plants, but also types of plants, in this case annual versus perennial, because this year that's what we have is annual production, nothing else, and animals. Yeah. This
is an amazing, amazing system, and I'd love you to encourage you, if you're in the region. Scott and Arina Pitman have quite an amazing, there's so much more here, we can't even possibly get it on film, but I know you do permaculture workshops, and they also have resources available for other people in the region, or not, if you would just like to come and learn more about sustainability. Do you have something coming up soon? Or
we teach permaculture classes year-round, so we encourage people to visit our website, permaculture.org. and have a lot of information on how to get more sustainable, not just gardening style, but building, waste management, energy, alternative economics, every aspect of human life. We have something to recommend. Wow. So permaculture is our work, and come and visit us.
Thanks so much, Arina. This is Marjorie Wildcraft, and we'll see you on another segment.